So I just watched the presidential debate, the final debate in the 2020 election, Trump versus Joe Biden with yet another anti-Trump moderator. Surprisingly, the debate was actually fairly good. The moderator did a really good job. It was balanced. I would say that the moderator was a little bit biased and a little bit in favor of Joe Biden, but at the same time, she did treat them fairly in regards to timing. The mic muting was not a big problem. It was handled very well. And, I'm actually really surprised. I fully expected this to be a rigged debate where Trump was getting silenced constantly. There wasn't equal time. It would be rigid, but none of that actually happened. It was actually very good. Both Trump and both Biden got to talk. They got to respond. They got to interrupt each other at some times, but it was very controlled. The moderator was no nonsense, and while I think a lot of the questions were probably a little bit unfair, Trump did very well. But what about Joe Biden? I would say he did not do well. Joe Biden got sleepy. He got tired. He was slurring. Trump was answering. And all Biden could do was say, he has no plan, after Trump explained his entire plan. If anybody didn't have a plan, it was Biden. All he was basically saying is, oh, we're going to throw money at the problem, or we're going to do it. It's going to be great. We're going to save your, family. It was emotional. Trump was like, this is what we're going to do, and this is how we're going to do it. Biden was not explaining a real plan, and yet he had the audacity to say that Trump had no plan. Another thing that really annoyed me was how Biden would always try to say, that's not true, or false. And then he blamed everything on Russia, like the Hunter Biden emails. Trump called him out. He said, why are you taking money from all these countries? You look and are a corrupt politician. And all Joe Biden could say was, Rudy Giuliani's a Russian spy. And then he hit back with Trump, did you pay your tax returns? I paid my taxes. I paid tens of millions of dollars. And then, the only thing I could think was, well, Joe Biden, vice presidents don't make $100 million to pay that much tax. So where did you get the money? But all in all, folks, this was a good debate. And I think Trump won. I think objectively, I think in terms of what he's done for the country, what he said he's going to do for the country, and his explanations, I think he did very well. Joe Biden, I think, totally lost this debate. And of course, I'm sure the biased media is going to, because they don't live in reality, they're going to say that, oh, no, orange man bad, Biden wins. Nah, if you don't know who to believe, I suggest watching the debate. Or perhaps watching clips of the debate, highlights and key moments with commentary. Coming up right now.
Okay, former Vice President Biden, to you, how would you lead the country out of this crisis? You have 2 minutes uninterrupted.
Mask mandate.
220,000 Americans dead. If you hear nothing else I say tonight.
Here we go.
What I would do is make sure we have everyone encouraged to wear a mask all the time. I would make sure we move in the direction.
When I closed and banned China from coming in heavily infected, and then ultimately Europe, but China was in January. Months later, he was saying I was xenophobic. I did it too soon. Now he's saying, oh, I should have, moved quicker. But he didn't move quicker. He was months behind me, many months behind me. And frankly,
look at Biden. He cannot handle when he's challenged.
And it was a total disaster, far less lethal.
He's like a grumpy grandpa.
30 seconds, please, and then I have a question.
No, number one, he says that we're learning to live with it. People are learning to die with it. You folks home will have an empty
Oh my
chair
God,
at the
stop
table.
doing the talk to the
That
camera
man
thing.
right
It's
going
so
to bed tonight.
lame.
What did the president say? He said, don't worry, it's going to go away. Be gone by Easter. Don't worry, the warm weather. Don't worry, maybe inject bleach. He said he was kidding when he said that, but a lot of people thought
He
it was
did not
serious.
say that. You
whole
liar.
thing-
Look, all he does is talk about shutdowns. But forget about him. His Democrat governors, Cuomo in New York.
Yep.
You look at what's going on in California. You look at Pennsylvania, North Carolina. Democrats all, they're shut down so tight and they're dying.
He was told this was a serious virus that spread in the air, and it was much worse than...
It doesn't spread on the air. It spreads through droplets in the air. Big difference. It's not airborne.
Recorded that, in fact, he knew how dangerous it was, but he didn't want to tell us.
No, he didn't want to panic people.
To panic.
Yeah, exactly.
Americans don't panic.
Yes, they do. Dude, we ran out of toilet paper.
His own national security advisor told him that what is happening with his buddy, well, I will. His buddy, Rudy Giuliani, he's being used as a Russian pawn. He's being fed
Please.
That is Russian, that is not
Russia,
true.
yeah, Russia made you take all that money from the Chinese in Ukraine. Russia made your son be a, you know, he made them smoke that crack.
All of the emails, the horrible emails of the kind of money that you were raking in, you and your family.
Damn right.
And then I do want to follow up on the election security.
I have not taken a penny from any
Liar.
source ever.
Liar.
We learned
Liar.
paid 50 times the tax in China, has a secret bank account with China, does business in China.
So, okay, so that erases all of your crimes?
Number two, this is a president. I have released all of my tax returns.
Yeah, yeah. You paid, what did you pay, like $30 million? You were making hundreds of millions of dollars. How did you get that money, Joe Biden?
What are you hiding?
I wonder.
Why are you unwilling?
Yeah. You're so full of shit. You're so full of shit. You're a liar.
Because
I want to, ooh, Joe Biden, just stop with your faces, you frickin' child.
And your family's hurting bad.
Point to the camera. Point to the camera.
President Trump, you've met with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un 3 times.
Yes, it's called world peace.
Persistent threat.
Because I'd make it clear, which we were making clear to China.
She cuts off Trump every time he gets to the point.
I made it clear, and as a spokesperson of the administration.
What's the matter,
I went to
Biden?
China, that they said, why
Losing
are
it?
you why are you
He looks
continuing to
sleepy.
do- What I'm going to do is pass Obamacare with a public option. It'll become Biden care. The public option. Is an
Biden
option
care.
that says
Oh,
that
I don't want to be
if
taken
you,
care
in
of by
fact, do not
Biden.
have the wherewithal
I'd rather
to
die.
qualify for Medicaid, and you do
I'm
not
not
have
even,
the
I'm
wherewithal
not joking.
in your state to get Medicaid, you automatically are enrolled, providing competition.
Do you think Biden's on Medicaid?
That's what's going to happen.
No, he's on
Secondly,
fancy
we're
rich
gonna make
people
sure we
health care.
Reduce the premiums and reduce drug prices.
How would he know?
Making terrible handling of the COVID virus and the economic spillover. 10 million people have lost their private.
Look at Trump.
He wants
Look at
to
his
take
face.
away 22 million more
He's
people
winning
have
that,
their
like,
Obamacare, and over
Biden misread what he was
110 million
doing,
people with pre-existing conditions.
and Trump is just
All
looking at the
people from
camera like,
COVID
this
are gonna
guy's
have
full of shit.
pre-existing conditions. What are they going to
You believe this guy?
If, in fact, he continues to withhold his plan to withhold the tax on Social Security will be bankrupt by 20.
Because socialism doesn't work.
No
So
way
which
to
is
make up
it?
for it.
Does socialism work or does it not?
Medicare.
This is proof against
the
you.
idea that- Where I come from in Scranton and Claymont, that people don't live off of the stock market. Just in the last
No stock
3
market, no
years
economy.
during this crisis,
Big guy.
Quick response, and then another question to you.
these 500 plus kids came with parents.
No, they
They
didn't.
separated them at the border to make it a
Oh,
disincentive.
Democrats are evil.
Big, real tough,
They're using
really
kids
strong.
for drug
And guess
mules
what? They
as
cannot
slaves.
coyote them.
Oh my
They
God!
got
How
separated from their
dare
parents.
you?
Ask you a follow-up
Kristen,
question.
they did it. We changed the policy.
Your response
they
to that?
did it. We
We
changed.
did not
They built the
separate-
cages.
Yes, you did.
Who built the cages, Joe?
Let's talk about what
Who
we're
built the
talking about.
cages,
Let's
Joe?
talk about what we're talking about. What happened? The catch and release. You know what he's talking about there? If in fact you had a family came across and they were arrested, they in fact were given a date to show up for their hearing,
And they don't.
released.
And they never
Guess
did.
What? They showed up
No, they didn't.
for a hearing.
No, they
This is
didn't.
the
Nobody
first
showed up.
city in
I've seen the
asylum.
numbers.
You come to the United States and you make your case that I seek asylum based on the following
Bull.
premise. Why
These are
I
people with
deserve it under American
iPhones.
law.
Okay, they're not asylum
sitting in a
seekers. They're
swamp on the other
liars.
side of the river.
Enough is enough.
And I want to talk about the way black and brown Americans experience race in this country. Part of that
Well,
experience is
how do
something
white
called
Americans
talk.
experience
It
them?
happens
That's
regardless of
another
class
question that
and
could be asked,
income.
you know?
What's going on? What I never had to tell my daughter, if she's pulled over, make sure she puts for a traffic
White
stop,
people cannot
put
be
both hands on
oppressed.
top
You've
of
heard
the
Joe
wheel
Biden.
and don't reach for the glove box because someone may shoot you.
Yeah, no, you should tell everybody that. Everyone has to teach that. Oh my God, you will get shot.
As far as they're concerned, if you had no window, it would be a lovely thing. This is the craziest plan that anybody has ever seen. And this wasn't done by...
Why do Democrats always laugh? Why?
I don't even know how it can
Are
be.
they sociopaths?
They want to spend $100 trillion. That's their real number. He's trying to say it was 6. It's
Smug.
$100 trillion.
Stop laughing.
Build new buildings
Stop.
with little, tiny, small windows.
God.
I mean,
Solar energy and wind.
No, it's
He thinks
not.
wind costs
Do you know how many
jobs,
birds
and they
die
pay
from wind
good
turbines?
prevailing
We're going to
wages.
have no birds.
45, 50.
We are energy independent. I know more about wind than you do. It's extremely expensive, kills all the birds. It's
Yup.
very intermittent. Got a lot
Why are
of
you
problems,
laughing, you
and they have to make
dumbass?
the windmills in both Germany and
It's
China.
true.
One
Is he going
final
to get
question
China
both
to do
of
it?
you. No, we're finished with
Is
this.
he
We
going
have
to
to
get
move
China
on to our
to do it?
final question. We
No,
have to
I'm
move
going
on
to
to our
rejoin
final
Paris
question.
Accord to make
Oh
China
my
buy-
God.
buy-
And most importantly, thank you to those watching tonight. Election Day.
She did a good job. That's the debate, folks. Yeah. Pretty good, actually. I cannot stand the Democrats. I'm not sure if the average American can. Like, how could they not be annoyed by these people? They're so smug and arrogant, and they lie. And it's just acting. Like, Biden is so corrupt, and he talks about character. What a shame. But that, my friends, is merely the obvious.